In today's video, we are in Derbyshire and we're heading into the High Peak. Just recently I travelled along a really picturesque route which took me from the A38 just near to Ripley, driving along the A610 and then up the A6, passing through the villages and towns such as Ambergate, Matlock and Bakewell. Some sections of this road are amongst the most picturesque in Britain, but there's also a lot of history that's happened over time. In fact, there's even one place where you might actually feel that you've actually gone back in time. Once again, there's a lot to see, so let's discuss it. One the trucker's eye. Over the next 8 minutes or so, we're going to be talking about many different types of transport. For my fellow truck drivers, there's a couple of things to notice. Coming up on the left hand side, not too far in the distance, will be Lockwood haulage. Just heading towards us on the other side of the road is a Lockwood haulage trailer. It's being pulled by an SR Smith unit. This combination of tractor unit and trailer became more common on the roads when in 2023, Lockwood's bought a 75% share in SR Smith. And if you ever do visit Lockwood's haulage, this is the entrance on the left hand side. The other thing you definitely want to take notice of if you are a truck driver is the low bridge if you come off the A6. As you can see from this sign on Google Maps, on the A6, it is a 15'3" bridge as you head into Ambergate. As soon as you turn onto the A610 from the A6, you'll notice that the bridge looks a little bit higher than 15'3". Now this signage for a low bridge definitely isn't wrong. And the reason being is that Ambergate is where two railway lines actually split up. Ambergate railway station has a complex history of which lines it actually served, the station being moved a few hundred metres further down the track in the 1800s as plans changed. Back on the A610 and heading towards that bridge, you'll run alongside one of the railway lines and you'll notice a small opening under another bridge. This is Bullbridge Hill. Both height-wise and weight-wise, you probably won't be turning underneath this bridge in a truck. But it's down this road that you need to go if you want to really feel like you've gone back in time. Please don't worry, you're still watching a video about Derbyshire, the A610 and the A6. But there is a very good reason for me showing you a small part of Liverpool, and all will become clear. At this point, please take notice of this building here, and also the betting shop on the right hand side, as the place where the betting shop now stands used to stand this building. As you can see, the building on the right is the building I asked you to take notice of. That was just to show you the location was correct. But it's the building in the centre of the photograph that is unfortunately no longer standing, which has a real solid connection with what we're going to talk about shortly in Derbyshire. Looking at an older photograph of the building, it might become a bit more clear as to what it was used for. This building was Liverpool's Green Lane tram sheds. But what is this building's connection with Derbyshire? Well, as a kid I used to go with my dad in the lorry, and most days we used to pass this building. And this building looked like this. As you can see, poking over the top of the green door was a tram, looking dilapidated and feeling sorry for itself. Trams in Liverpool operated from 1898 all the way through to 1957. Passing this tram is one of my earliest memories. I was born in 1974, but then one day in 1979, the tram just disappeared. And here is that Liverpool tram 869, now residing at the fantastic CRICH Tramway Museum in Derbyshire. Liverpool tram 869 is just one of many trams that have been fully restored and are fully operational on the mile-long track at CRICH. The brilliant people at CRICH restored Liverpool tram 869 from this into this. And it's not just the fact that you can ride the trams at CRICH. You'll truly believe that you've gone back in time, especially with some of the costumes that people wear.
Wow, look at that horsey.
CRICH Tramway Museum is truly a magnificent day out. I'll put a link into the description of this video, just in case you want to have a look. It's time for us to finally pass underneath that low bridge and get to our next destination. The trailer I had on this particular day was 15 foot tall, so can't be too careful going under this bridge. Once we're through the bridge, it's not too far till the end of the A610, and we'll take it right onto the A6. And this is where we're going to find some classic vehicles of another description. I'll see you over there. And driving north on the A6 we certainly are. And quite quickly after leaving the A606 you'll come across this place, the Great British Car Journey. The Great British Car Museum is a treasure trove of classic British cars from right across the decades. It's at this fantastic museum that you'll find almost any single British car that you can think of. The sort of classic cars that I would be interested in are cars that I owned. The first car I ever owned was an Austin Montego. My Montego just had a 1.6 litre engine. The 2 litre MG version was the dream. Other highlights at the Great British Car Journey for me would be cars like the Capri. Yeah. They really need to leave the classic car names with the classic cars of the past. Now this is a Capri. Also at the Great British Car Museum, you'll find one of these. A DeLorean, as seen in the movie Back to the Future. For those of you paying attention, that was the second Back to the Future reference in this video, and you thought these videos were just cobbled together. Funnily enough, we'll need a third Back to the Future reference to get us to the next destination in the video.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Which isn't strictly that true. We'll still need the road that is the A6 to get to our destination. As we near the next destination, we'll pass through the village of Matlock Bath, or Bath, depending on where you come from. I'll let you enjoy the scenery as we pass through the cafes and shops, but then we'll arrive at our destination and roads will be obsolete. As you saw, the shops and cafes are very quaint. Matlock Bath is a designated conservation area with an Article 4 direction in relation to properties. The rough meaning of that means that those people in those properties can't just do something to the buildings that they want to. The majority of people in the UK can do things to their houses without actual planning permission. But in Matlock Bath, the landowner is required to seek planning permission consent, whereas other people, like you and I, wouldn't need to. As you leave the spa village of Matlock Bath, you might notice some cables running across the A6. And shortly before and after those cables, you'll see signs for the Heights of Abraham. The Heights of Abraham is a fantastic tourist attraction. The Heights of Abraham is basically a hilltop park. The hilltop itself is actually called Mason Hill, and once you're up there are fantastic things to do. Whether that's just taking in the scenery, visiting the historic caves, or having something to eat, with a nice view. But obviously with a big hill, you need a way of getting up there. And that's the reason we saw those cables across the A6 a little bit earlier. As to get up the hill, you don't need a road. The Heights of Abraham, which had been a tourist attraction for many hundreds of years, had been struggling in the late 70s, early 80s, as you can see on the Heights of Abraham's own YouTube video.
Let's turn back the clock to the 1980s, when tourism in Matlock Bath was in decline. The future looked bleak.
Well, that was until the company decided to take a massive gamble and build Britain's first Alpine-style cable car. And obviously it has paid off, as here in 2025, after 41 years of being open, it's still very much operational. But whilst heights are not for everybody, and sitting in a cable car would be most people's worst nightmare, one man decided to take the cable car, but decided not to even sit inside the gondola.
It's a bloke hanging off it.
Oh my god.
Daredevil and stuntman Jonathan Goodwin had decided in 2015 to perform the stunt of clinging to the outside of one of the gondolas. Obviously the danger is there for all to see. Mr Goodwin went on to perform on many television shows such as Britain's Got Talent, but the danger became a reality when Mr Goodwin was paralysed from the waist down whilst rehearsing for a further Daredevil appearance on America's Got Talent. It's almost the end of our video, as we are now arriving in the picturesque town of Bakewell. As you enjoy more picturesque scenery, oh yes, it gives me time to thank every single subscriber for subscribing to the channel thus far. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, then please consider doing so. I do hope you've enjoyed this video looking around a few parts of northern Derbyshire. If you have, could you please just take 2 seconds to give the video a thumbs up? It's much appreciated. Who knows where the next video will take us? But no matter where it is, hopefully I'll see you next time on the Trucker's Eye.